This news alert brought to you by Casarina All Sports Club. All your entertainment under one roof.
Good evening. The court has been closed for most of the third day of the rape trial against former Police Assistant Commissioner Peter Bravos. Pre-recorded evidence from the alleged victim started being played for the jury yesterday and continued into today. Mr. Bravos has pleaded not guilty to 2 charges of sexual intercourse without consent. The trial continues tomorrow. The Northern Territory now only has 1 active coronavirus case remaining after a Darwin man who tested positive on July 1 recently recovered. The local man in his 30s flew into Melbourne from Pakistan last month, spending time in a hotspot in Melbourne before his flight home. A 21-year-old US Marine remains in isolation with the virus after testing positive. Opposition political parties are demanding Labor tells the truth following today's release of the financial report. Both the CLP and Territory Alliance claim the devastating figures mask the true state of the books.
While it hasn't come as a surprise, Labor's forecast $8.2 billion debt is still very hard to swallow.
For a Territory baby born today, they will inherit $34,000 in debt. Territory voter, $60,000.
And political rivals say today's figures do little to show the true state of play for the Northern Territory ahead of next month's election, with voters still waiting the Treasurer's 2019-20 preliminary outcome report, which will be published days before the election, but a firm date hasn't been revealed.
I smelt a rat this morning when I heard it being referred to as the COVID-19 financial report.
This election is a matter of trust. Who do Territorians trust?
The Chamber of Commerce acknowledges the difficulties in crunching the numbers in the current climate.
I think there's a lot of estimates go into these figures and a lot of assumptions are made.
And says the NT's survival will hinge on private investment.
We need to have clear pathways forward. We need to take away as much red tape as we possibly can. And we need to make this the best place to do business in Australia.
The key to unlocking that investment is creating certainty, something Territory Alliance and the CLP say will be a top priority.
If elected this August, we will immediately move to slash approvals timeframes across government by 50%.
Former Chief Minister Terry Mills has also flagged taking a closer look at the public service.
Senior executive positions are completely out of balance in the Northern Territory.
Ellie Conway, 9 News.
Plans to build the world's largest solar farm near Tennant Creek have taken a step forward, with the proponent Sun Cable awarded major project status by the Australian government.
If we get the HVDC cables right and the Sun Cable set up right, then you're going to see a completely different way of delivering reliable renewable power in the NT.
The farm will produce around $2 billion of solar energy to Singapore annually and is expected to be operational by 2027. The 4 Northern Territory land councils have met today, calling on the Morrison and Gunner governments to commit to a new Aboriginal-run community housing model they say is essential to closing the gap.
I agree with what they're saying in intent, but I think the method of delivery would actually lead to an increase in administrative costs, and I don't support that.
The land councils also discussed improving water security for communities, with some residents in Central Australia drinking water contaminated with uranium. Thank you for joining us. To stay up to date, follow 9 News Darwin on Facebook.